You can almost certainly hear that wind. It is powerful. Gusts up to 60 miles per hour today. We got remnants of Hurricane Kirk coming through, but we were told it was going to rain, and it's not. So as I hike along the Camino to Santiago today, I can't help but think of the power of God. Is that really a secret of God? Is that really something that's hidden? I think a lot of people struggle with understanding how much is under the control of God, how much His power reigns over all the earth. I think of Job, right? He had questions for God. He wanted to explain to God how the universe should be run, and how did God respond to him ultimately. But with a series of questions, do you know? Tell me, Job, how this works. And Job, in the end, wisely covered his mouth and was silent. He realized that he didn't have the answers. He realized that the power of God, the wisdom of God, was so far beyond him. In Psalm 19:1, it says this: "The heavens declare the glory of God. The expanse proclaims the work of His hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they communicate knowledge. There is no speech, there are no words." So this is creation speaking to us through what exists. There is no speech, there are no words, their voice is not heard, their message has gone out to the whole earth, and their words to the end of the world. Creation around us is speaking, communicating to us tremendous truths about God's power, His mercy, and we would do well to listen. Today, as I try to walk, and as I will continue to try to walk, it's like getting shoved around by people. Like someone coming up to you and just pushing them. And just having that happen again and again, it's very frustrating. It's hard to fight against an unseen force. And yet, isn't that the way of our lives? Yesterday we talked about the secret of God's wisdom. Secret of wisdom, that we have to take personal responsibility for the things that we are in control of. That we should not underestimate the things that we truly are in control of. But at the same time, there is so much that is beyond our control. I cannot control the wind. You try to get behind a building, it doesn't work. Try to get behind some trees. Oh, look, this is a nice little quiet space. No, it doesn't work. You can't control the wind. It just is. It's just doing what God wants it to do. But the power of God sets the stage for so many of our decisions, so much of our lives. Yesterday, the weathermen said that the remnants of this hurricane were going to bring rain all day long. Rain and this wind. Today's been a little challenging, but it hasn't been debilitatingly horrible. Which, if this was driving rain, would have been along those lines. We had that 2 days ago where we had several bouts of wind driving the rain right into my face, and since we're going west, we're always walking into the wind. So that's fun too. But I can't control the weather, and yet what the weather is going to be like is going to shape the decisions of my day, my emotions, my just so much would change just by the weather changing. And we just see that that's kind of how life is, isn't it? Our lives are dictated by the things that happen that are outside of our control. We must have a humility about us, realizing that it is under God's power and God's direction, and it's happening for God's purposes. These things in our lives are happening for God's reasons. And we can try to fight that, but sooner or later we're going to have to come to the point where we accept the power of God is God's, not ours. It's not ours to question, it's not ours to try to fight against, but rather just to accept and to come to God patiently, humbly, to request from His hand. I can't control the weather for sure, but I can pray to God who controls the weather. Now, I'm not saying that God always will stop the rain for me, but in His mercy, there have been a couple times, let's just say it that way. Maybe not so much on this trip, but what is in our control, we should control, and we should take responsibility for. Be good stewards of. What is in God's control, we should allow it to be in God's control and not fight Him on it. To allow those things to happen, to accept the good and the bad, like Job says. Should we just accept the good and just complain about the bad? No. We should accept the good and the bad from God. The good God that gives us the things that we like is the same good God that gives us the things that we don't think we like. And that's a hard truth. That's hard to accept, hard to understand, and hard to live with. But it's better if we do. That's the secret of God's power. All right, friends, coming to you from the Camino de Santiago. I'm almost about a third of the way through. And learning, changing, and being blessed along the way. All right, friends, I want to get back to trying to plow through some of this wind that God has blessed me with today. And hopefully you can look at the situations that you have in your life. And it doesn't mean you have to like it, but asking yourself the question, I wonder what God is doing today. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining us at Poplar Bible Studies. I will see you guys again later. God bless you all.